Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Decatur Central High School and another Friday Night Lights as your Decatur Central Hawks are taking on the Martinsville Artesians. I am here with my main man, Mr. Cunningham. How are you this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great, man. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So we're about 6 minutes away here from kickoff. So we'll kind of catch up about last week. I don't know if you were able to go to the game or not, but I was there for a majority of it. And just an odd evening and odd turn of events just before half. Our quarterback, Bo Polston, gets hit high and low on the same play and just basically knocked out of the game, taken out on a stretcher. And a lot of feelings, a lot of things on the sideline in the stands. You know, you felt for his parents as they go through that experience. And but the good news is he was cleared to play tonight yesterday, so we are going to get to see Bo Polston back in action here. Should be interesting to see how he responds to that, and I'm sure his teammates will as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you never love it to see when your starting quarterback goes down in a game, but obviously he was able to get cleared and able to play tonight, so, you know, the entire squad's loving that tonight and looking to get a nice win here tonight.
Yeah, and I think, we've said it before, said it in our first broadcast, as goes Bo Polston, so go the Hawks. And so when you see your leader, who you rely on so much and, who more or less drives the car for you, when he goes down and in that fashion, that's, it's one thing to see a guy get dinged up and have to go to the sidelines and sit on the bench, but it's another thing when he gets taken out, in an ambulance. That's, that kind of makes football a little smaller than it is before. So, when you see that, it changes everybody's demeanor. As you see our Hawks coming out here this evening, ready to go. See Bryson Bonawit, number 9, with the sledgehammer. Seeing Jalen Shanks, who's played remarkable the last few weeks with the pirate flag there, rallying the troops. So, look, I got a good feeling about this evening. I think it's going to be a good night here.
I agree. They're coming out for vengeance, obviously not winning that game against Whiteland last week. They're going to come out here and ready to play.
Well, and for those of you that watch on Wednesdays, I do a co with Coach Enright, and we talked about, we were very capable of beating Whiteland, staying in that game. And, we're going to see Whiteland again down the road. I have a very, very good feeling about that we're going to be head-to-head with the Warriors once again before this season is over. So I think that's just going to – we're going to get a second chance is my thoughts on that. So.
And obviously, they're going to go back with that game knowing that their first game of the season was a loss, so, they're going to hold that one. Remember that one and go back and try to get that win.
Well, and those of you that pay attention and watch, this group of kids is a proud group of guys. They do not like to lose, and that's just something that you can't teach. I think that's something you're born with. That mindset where we don't like to lose. We don't lose, and so suffering a loss last week was a bitter pill, and I don't think they like that taste. So I think it's going to be an interesting night tonight. We're going to see, kind of what we're made of and see how we bounce back here.
Absolutely.
See the coin toss out there with the captains, Bryson Bonawit, Javian Jones. See Albert Aguirre. Looks like Inpo Dodo, who's earned that this week. He has been remarkable. And Marvin Campbell Jr. or MJ Campbell. You see him out there, number 5. I think that young man is coming back from a pretty bad elbow injury, and I think you're going to start to see him warm up. I think we're going to start seeing him and saying his name more often this week.
I agree.
So you see the ceremonial coin toss, if you will. I don't. Would you think, is this a ceremonial coin toss, or is this the real deal? Do you think they actually do the coin toss here?
I think it is the real deal.
All right.
I believe so.
So we have really great weather. It's starting to feel like fall and starting to feel like football weather out here. There's a little bit of chill in the air, a little bit of wind. So some of these folks are going to start breaking out their jackets and sweatshirts, I think, tonight.
As you know, it is a lot cooler than it was 2 weeks ago when we played Whiteland or New Pal.
Yeah, you can say that again. It was hot and sweaty up here in the press box. So We can't complain though. We've got a couple of air conditioning units up here.
Yep.
I would take this over the soccer press box that I spend a lot of time in when I'm not doing football. It can get pretty cool or pretty warm in there pretty quickly. So and I don't know if you folks are noticing, we got a kind of a tight shot there, but walking up on our track here, it's youth football and youth night here at DeVere Fair Stadium. So you're going to see probably, what would you say, about 200 cheerleaders tonight?
Absolutely, maybe even more than that.
Yeah, roughly 200 or so cheerleaders. You're going to see a whole bunch of young men running out here at halftime with different jerseys on from Decatur Youth League, and they do a phenomenal job, those folks over there at Decatur Youth Football. I believe that's still ran by Mr. Jimmy Ray, who does a wonderful job. Gets a lot of help from Don Ivy, our softball coach, who also for years has coached some of our middle school teams, and so they do a great job. There's so many people in our township that go into that and make it a success, and it's directly correlates with the success you see on Friday nights. I have absolutely no doubt in that.
Agreed.
So we are just moments here from the kickoff. It looks like Ashton Vogel will be kicking off to Martinsville, so we'll get to see him flash the leg on the first play of the game.
It's just a crazy scene to go look down at all those cheerleaders there.
Yeah, it's pretty chaotic. Like I said, you folks at home can't see it, but trust me, there's about 200 young people in hula skirts and Hawaiian clothes down there, ready to go for tonight's theme. Looking good as a group. You love to see that when this is a night where the whole community comes out.
Yes.
Let's see if we can identify the folks back for Martinsville as we get ready to kick off. Looks like Hunter Stroud, number 3 maybe. I'm not sure if I can make that out. Their numbers are small. So 25, that's Braden Shrake was 1. And number 3, Hunter Stroud. Irregardless, that ball went into the end zone, and they will start at their own 20. So I'll be honest with you. I do not know a whole lot about Martinsville. Just what I've learned from talking to Coach Enright. I know they have a very tall, capable quarterback. I said he was about 6'4", had a nice arm on him. So we're going to get to see that in action here on the first play. And they're going to run it right up the middle.
Yeah, and I watched him warm up before the game tonight, and I'll tell you what, he was putting the balls where those balls needed to be placed.
So A.J. Reynolds is going to hand that ball off. It looks like the running back is number 25, Braden Shrake, who was the kick returner there, one of the 2 kick returners. And they start off with a nice 4-yard run right up the gut. Reynolds again to Shrake, pretty much same play. We defended it a little better there, as you saw Albert Aguirre fill and make a stop, maybe a gain of 2 there, so that'll bring up 3rd down at about 4.
You have to think all the fans here tonight are ready and fired up to watch the Decatur Central Hawks play once again.
I think you'll start to feel that electricity when Bo goes on the field for the first time tonight. What do you think of that?
I do agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Having him go out on a stretcher and in an ambulance like that last week was definitely not the best thing for Decatur Central Hawks fans to see.
Yeah.
And with him coming out on the field here tonight shows just how strong and how much perseverance he has.
And you see Reynolds there, a little pass to the tight end, Josh Jones, number 87. They'll be one of the few teams you'll see utilize that tight end this year. That's a thing that's almost a thing of the past in high school football in Indiana. You don't see a lot of tight ends playing anymore. You see a lot of wing play, a lot of slot receiver play. As you see a big ugly in motion, and they're going to do a little screen pass. That's going to go out to number 11, Mason Dodson.
You think most people in high school, they play tight end or they'll get moved to a better position, linebacker, put to a lineman, and then move back to their original position either in college or if they do make it to the pros, back to that position.
Yeah, and I think you see a lot of tight end usage in college and definitely in the pros. I mean, if you don't know Travis Kelce, you haven't been watching football.
No.
You know, there's quite a few very good tight ends. Zach Ertz, over the years that, very valuable. And but you don't see a ton of it in Indiana high school football as they do another inside handoff. Going to go to Braden Shrake. And Martinsville is moving the ball here pretty steadily. That'll bring up another third down and just a yard or so here for the Artesians, who have probably one of the most unique mascots in the state of Indiana, don't you think?
I do agree with
that. Their mascot is a medicinal well. And there's another handoff up the middle of Shrake. He is stopped short. Looks like Javian Jones is in there. There's somebody on the backside of that tackle that I didn't see, kind of went low. It looks like LaFollette in there to help that stop, and that's going to bring up 4th and 2, so loss of 1 for the Artesians. They are still in go mode here, so they're going to go for it on 4th and 2, or maybe they're going to try and make us jump and call a timeout. So it looks like they are going to run a play.
You talk about the mascots and stuff. Obviously, Decatur Central is a hawk, but when you look at mascots, they make you laugh just as much as like a student section or a player would.
And Shrake squirts through that inside gap there, the A gap, to just sneak through for a first down on 4th. So big first down there for the Artesians. And still talking about mascots, I mean, Indiana, there's only 2 schools in the entire United States of America whose mascot is the eel, and they are both in Indiana, the Clay City Eels and the Eminence Eels. So I always feel like that's kind of interesting. As you see, Hunter Stroud gets a little end around there for Martinsville, pickup of about 3. He's gang tackled by several guys in blue. Also, think of the Speedway Spark Plugs, which is the most perfect mascot name for any school. If you're going to be from Speedway, Indiana, might as well be an auto part.
Indeed.
Yeah, so there's a lot of fun stuff out there. As you see Reynolds running for his life a little bit, and he just kind of throws that away because he was corralled by MJ.
You got to love our defense getting through that offensive line.
Well, it looks like they might call a roughing the passer. But actually, we're going to get a hold on Martinsville, so that worked out well. And I'll be honest, I didn't think that was a roughing the passer. It was a pretty good hit. He hit it as he was throwing, which is why he threw it, because MJ Campbell was on his back closing in. So Martinsville will be marched back a little bit. I think that'll bring up 3rd down, and looks like maybe
3 to go, maybe
about 5th. Probably more like 17.
Oh.
So maybe they don't lose it down. So it's 2nd down and 17 here.
Looking at the scoreboard, it says
18 to go.
There it is.
You see the defensive line there, Javian Jones underneath there. You see, and he just sits down in the zone, the receiver. And nice job by Reynolds taking what they're given. Looks like his pass was completed to Hunter Stroud there for a nice little gain, maybe about 9 or 10 there as he sits in the zone. There's just a space there in between the linebackers and the defensive linemen.
Obviously, most football fans here recently have been loving this week. Obviously, the first NFL game of the season yesterday, Lions and Chiefs. And then on Sunday, you have the first official Week 1 games of the NFL, and every football fan just loving this week. And we got a great game here tonight.
Colts are playing tomorrow, I believe, against Jacksonville. Is that correct?
I think it's Sunday.
Is it Sunday? As you see, a big sack by Stephen Oyeteo. The heart, the soul, the leader, Stephen Oyeteo, doing a little blitzy. And Reynolds was not prepared for a grown man to be in his face that fast.
Not at all.
So excellent play call there by Max Gooden. Excellent execution by Steve-O. And it'll bring up 4th and quite a distance.
And I feel like Stephen Oteo is going to be one of those names that you hear called a lot tonight.
If you are a football coach or a football player, if you're a college coach and you're watching, I don't know how you don't see Stephen Oyeteo and Albert Aguirre. Those gentlemen stand out like a sore thumb.
Absolutely.
So the defense gets a stop on that first drive thanks to a couple of big plays. MJ Campbell forcing a throwaway. Stephen Oyeteo making a huge sack. I'm not sure if that's the first sack of the year or if it's been a couple, but regardless, a phenomenal play call and execution by that gentleman. And so we're going to get to see the offense for the first time tonight. And I think I'm pretty good at saying everybody's excited to see this come to fruition here, see what happens in this group. As you see Pharrell Carter near us, looks like Chris Richmond also near us, maybe Inpo Dodo on the far side. Actually, Inpo Dodo right there by Bo, and looked like just kind of a broken play there that Bo was trying to make lemonade out of lemons, and he goes down pretty quickly.
And obviously, he's going to play with the most grit and aggression he has tonight coming off that injury.
Yeah, and that just looked like, just wasn't very smooth or in sync there. So that's one of those ones where you just have the memory of a goldfish and go right back to work here.
Agreed.
So Pharrell and Richmond nearest, Dodo and Casey Berry on the far side, Albert Aguirre back with Bo Polston for 2nd down and 12 here. And Martinsville's bringing folks. And
it's picked off.
And Pharrell Carter doesn't bring in the pass. It bounces off his chest and goes to number 13 of Martinsville. That is Ben Field with an interception there, a little miscue. Maybe some folks out of sync. I mean, let's be honest, Bo has not practiced all week. So that's one of those odd things that happens from time to time. So you'll see the defense come back out.
No defense.
So here comes A.J. Reynolds and his offense.
And there's a flea flicker. They're going to go downfield, but covered very well. And they're going to call a pass interference. And, unfortunately, that's Elijah Trammell got caught up there with the comeback route.
A.J. was looking for Hunter Stroud on that play.
Yeah, and that's just one of those unlucky things, Elijah. You just got to let it go and play on. Just unfortunate. He's actually in good position if they threw the ball out over him, but they did not. He underthrew the receiver, so the receiver tried to work back through Elijah, and that's just one of those unlucky, unfortunate things.
You never love to see it, but he'll bounce back from that for sure.
So that'll bring up 1st and 10 here. The ball is on the 17-yard line of the Hawks they'll bring 1st and 10 for Martinsville. Again, Reynolds lined up in the shotgun. He has Shrake behind him, and Shrake will take the handoff. He's got some room there. And Albert Aguirre sheds one block and makes the tackle there, a gain of probably about 5.
And obviously, they look to come out here and try to get that early lead.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, we've talked during the New Pal game. It's a game of mistakes right now. We've made one, and they haven't yet. And that's really the tall and short. If their job is to capitalize on our mistakes. And there's a fade pass in the zone. An excellent job. A pass defended by Braylon Morris. The JV quarterback turned varsity safety and corner.
And in my time
Actually playing corner there.
In my time playing last year, I got to play with Braylon at our QB spot once Michael started playing more JV. And he's definitely got one of those. He's got that arm, and he's got the power just to play at any position on that field you put him at.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Morris. Have him in class. Very respectful, always doing what he's supposed to do, works on assignments. He's a quality individual and just showed you he's a heck of an athlete out there in his first varsity start playing cornerback. Here comes another pass up the middle. Again, Martinsville just doing a good job taking what we're giving them. As you see, that looks like Hunter Stroud. So they bring it up. They'll get 1st and goal from the 4, it looks like there, maybe 4.5-yard line. 4:53 and counting on the clock here in the first quarter. Martinsville knocking on the door. You see Reynolds in the shotgun again. Schrank behind him. Schrank's going to get the ball, and I don't think he quite made it, but he did pick up one or two.
Stopped about a little short there.
And Schrank's just a hard-nosed runner. You see he's not really tall, kind of low to the ground, but he's muscular. Just looks like he could squat a ton. So strong-looking young man.
5'11", about 210, 220 pounds.
And I'll be honest, if I'm Martinsville, I just feed him the ball. Give him the ball. But we will see. They've got him in the I formation here, which means he's probably going to get it, and he does. Little sidestep. He's going to be short once again, but not by much. About the foot yard line there, 1.5 yard line. As the clock ticks away here for Martinsville, 3rd and very short. And I'll be honest, do you think if 4th down comes up, do you go for it here in the first quarter, or do you kick the field goal and take the points?
Me personally, I would take the points, but knowing Martinsville, they're that close, obviously they wouldn't want to give up if they could get the chance to score the 6.
Well, and it all kind of hinges on what happens in this play, right? Absolutely. So there's another handoff, and he's met in the backfield. What a great job. Guess who it is? Stephen Oyateo.
There he is again. That man will come out of nowhere and just shock the world.
So my question stands, 4th down, and it looks like they're bringing on a kicking unit here. So we will see Martinsville attempt. Looks like Charlie Rollins is going to attempt the field goal here. Should be a chip shot here for him, but it is high school football. You never know.
Agreed.
So he's kicking from very short here. And the referees looked at each other like they weren't sure and then called signal for a field goal. So kind of eerily reminiscent to 1 week ago. Turnover for us. We stop the opponent and limit them to a field goal. And last week we scored on the second drive. So we'll see what happens here coming up. 2:48 left here in the first quarter. And we will see the second round of Bull Polston. Right now, this has been the Stephen Oyateo game. 2 huge plays. Stuff on 3rd down, a sack on 3rd down for that gentleman. And the defense is playing pretty darn good, man.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so a stop on the first drive by our defense against Martinsville. Couple plays later, we give it back to Martinsville. Martinsville drives to what would you say about the 1.5, 2 foot line, and lose 2 on the 3rd down play by the Stephen Oyateo TFL, tackle for loss, and they take the 3 points, and now they're going to kick to us. So you'll see Charlie Rollins once again, and back for us Inpo Dodo, and I believe Casimir Hicks is our other kick return. I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
You are correct.
And Inpo's been about as important as anybody the last couple of weeks. Casimir Hicks is about as quick as anybody. And there's an onside kick by Martinsville, and heads-up play, and that's a tough play. I believe that was Bryson Bonowit maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. My bad there. That is Bryce Johnson stepping up in the traffic with guys all over him, secures the onside kick, and moves it forward about a yard.
Obviously, he had to know what was coming, especially with the onside kick. You're going to have all those – you're at the front there, and you're going to have all those guys just coming at you, trying to figure out who's got the ball and if we can force that fumble. But obviously he was able to hold on, get that ball for us, and that puts us very close. Closer than we would have been.
Well, and I think that demonstrates why they call it the hands team. I mean, that takes some hands to make that play in all that traffic, and it's just you and 4 or 5 other Martinsville guys around the football, and you come away with it. As you see, Casey Berry, who's a dynamic individual, takes just a short pass that should have been maybe a tackle for a loss. It turns into about a gain of 5 or 6.
Agreed. And obviously, Casey Berry, one of the more electrifying players when he's on both sides of the ball. Obviously, during the game against New Pal, he had that basically game-ending interception there, and so he's loving it.
I'll be honest, I'm going to resurrect a name from the past, a young man. For all you Purdue and Cecina Memorial fans, Donald Winston, probably the shortest guy I've ever seen that can jump like that. And Casey is pretty darn close to old Donald Winston. He can he can fly, basically, as you see Impododo move the chains forward just a little bit there for about 2 or 3 yards, or not move the chains, but move the football 2 or 3 yards there as we go just under 2 minutes here in the first quarter.
Brings up a 3rd down and 3 to go for the Decatur Central Hawks.
I don't know if you can see on the screen. It doesn't look like it. Coach Noah Ray, the offensive coordinator, sending in the plays to Bo Polston. So right now he's got Impododo behind him, Casey Berry on the far side, Pharrell Carter and Chris Richmond on the near side. You see Albert Aguirre go in motion. So it looks like he's looking left. And Casey was not aware of the football, and Bo throws interception number 2.
That'll be one he'd like to get back.
Yeah, unfortunately both those guys not on the same page. And can't really see the individual that made that interception. I think it was number 22, Damon Terrell there. I'm not sure if that's right or not. Sorry about that, Martinsville folks. But, unfortunately, we are 0 for 2 on offense, 2 turnovers.
It was still smart, though, by Martinsville to take those 3 points when they could, get the points, take the lead, and see what they can do their next time around on offense. So, obviously, now we'll be able to see what they got planned since taking their quick little break.
Yeah, for sure. It's just I'm sure nobody's sicker than Bo Polston and Casey Berry right now, but defense has got to bow up, unfortunately, and offense has got to find some rhythm here. And that's really all it is. They're just very out of sync right now. Snaps are good. I feel like the blocking's good. It's just the connection between number 12 and his wide receiver group right now is just not there. And so they've got to figure out how to make that happen and, get some rhythm plays. And I'm sure Coach Enright and I'm sure Coach Ray will do something to get some rhythm going here.
No, 100%. And it's like you said earlier, this game is a game of mistakes, and obviously we've made more than they have, and it's costing us.
And I think Martinsville's just going to try and pound us here with Braden Shrake, which, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
So 3rd down and about 3 or 4 here for the Artesians as the first quarter is slowly winded down here, about 30 seconds left before the horn of the first quarter. Martinsville will probably run one more play here. And looks like they were setting up a jet sweep but did not run that.
Decatur's all right through that one.
Here we go the other direction, and I think Martinsville's just trying to make us jump here, and they'll end the quarter here with a 3-0 lead. So no snap. There comes the snap, and quarterback's looking. He is on the run. He's going. Yeah, I say he about got lit all up by Bryson Bonowit. As you see, MJ Campbell there with a tackle, and Stephen Oyateo as well of Reynolds.
Definitely be hard to miss MJ Campbell tonight. The red shirt on with the blue. So
I got to be honest though, what a weird decision situation outcome there for Martinsville's 3rd down and 4. You wait till there's about 2.6 seconds on the clock to snap the ball, and the quarterback just runs to our side and loses a yard or 2. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm a little perplexed by that.
Me too, and I was trying to figure out what was going on in their coach's head there to run a play instead of just run that clock out and get a quick little break to figure something out. So
I can't imagine that's what he had called or what he had thought. That's just a little odd thing there. And I mean, and those things come back to haunt you. When you make those decisions. So now it's 4th and 4 or 5 here, and they are on their own 46. So, I mean, I can't imagine them not punting it away here. Obviously I don't know Martinsville's tendencies. Maybe they will go for it here, but I would think this would result in a punt here. So,
absolutely. And the game of mistakes you'll always make those mistakes, but yet they can come back and get you real quick. And
for sure. Well, and we talk about mistakes a lot, but our 2 mistakes here for us have been very, very early. It's our first 2 drives. Probably a little easier to overcome at this juncture, but when you're making those in the 4th quarter late, that's tough. So it looks like some sort of timeout Decatur Central, something they saw they did not like, and called a timeout here. So as we start the 2nd quarter, I can't imagine Martinsville was in a shotgun. I would assume they're going to do a purple punt here.
As you can see, our youth cheerleaders and older cheerleaders getting the crowd hyped down here. And again, like you said, it's like feels like 200 cheerleaders down there between high school, middle school, and
well, and those of you that are wanting to see those cheerleaders, you will get a heavy dose of them at halftime. I have no doubt about that. You will see those folks do their thing at halftime, and it's one of my favorite things about our community is, they do this. Like you said, I'm not exaggerating when I say there's approximately 200 young ladies and a few gentlemen down there. For them to put in that time and put a routine together, that's pretty cool and it's pretty impressive. As you see, fourth down here, looks like the QB's back. He's going to kick, and he does that indeed. Not a bad kick there. And the Hawks are just going to let it go out of bounds, probably about the 20, maybe the 22 here, as the ref keeps moving up. Keep going, sir. And he's going to stop at the 30 for some reason. Decided that the 30 was it. So I thought it went out at about the 24, and he kept running forward. I'm like, keep going, bud. He even took a step into the 31. I thought he was going to give us a little more. So
we'll see what the offense has going on here now. Bo, obviously, back out here after the 2 early interceptions he threw, looking to get those back and maybe capitalize with a score on this drive. Whether it comes from him or a field goal by our kicker.
Yeah, and at this point, you just want to see something good happen. I was going to say, I figured we're going to have some runs happen here. As you see, Inpo Dodo slicing for a first down, 11-yard run on first down for another Hawks first down, in the words of the great Andy Hofer, as you can kind of hear in the background there. So I think we're going to see a little bit of that and, try and get a little rhythm and maybe not throw the ball as much. But Coach Enright said in the coaches show he likes to be aggressive, and I appreciate that about him. I think that's a good thing. And Bo's going to keep it. He's going to run. He's going to slash forward, maybe gain a 3 or 4 here. And
tackled by a barrage of Martinsville artisans there.
A well of artisans, if you will.
Absolutely.
Isn't that terrible? I always say I'm never going to say those things, and then here I am saying it.
It's all fun up here.
It's all fun and games here at the DCHS Live
press box. Makes our audience laugh.
So 11 minutes now. We've burned 1 minute here in the second quarter. Second down, and looks like about 7 here to go for your Hawks. Bo Polston with a nice 4-yard pickup on first down. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He is as good as anybody at making those reads on the RPOs. And fakes to Inpo, out here to Chris Richmond for the first time tonight. A great block by Casey Perry to spring him. Literally blocked one man into another man so that Chris could tiptoe down the sideline. One thing I will tell you, in my years, I worked with Ben Davis High School in 2001. They were undefeated state champions, had Mr. Football. One thing that they did as well, if not better than anybody I've ever seen in Indiana high school football, is their receivers were absolutely phenomenal at blocking downfield. If you can do that, you can be unbelievably successful in high school football.
Yeah, and you love to see the plays that'll get our offense moving and getting the crowd and players hyped up and ready for the next play. And
Bo Polston hands it off to Albert Aguirre, who's got a head of steam. Fumble on the play. I don't know if we got it back or not. It looked like we did, but who knows? Martinsville obviously is going to say they got it. But the official is the one that means it the most. So we just cannot get out of our own way. 3 plays, 3 turnovers. And that's one of those things where Albert knows he's got to secure the ball better.
100%. These plays will definitely come back to haunt them, whether it's in the game here tonight or practice Monday morning.
And the defender put his hat on the football exactly as you teach that. That was just a great hit by that young man, and Albert just did not secure the football enough and lost it there, and he knows. So he will flip sides and go on defense. And like we said, just the Hawks are just not in sync on offense. They're just not finding a way I mean, we're moving the ball on offense when, we just moved the ball from, like we said, the 30-yard line to the other side of the field, and just mistakes.
100%. And
see Javian Jones going out there on defense. So Connor Bentley, Javian Jones, MJ Campbell on our near side at defensive end, and Shanks on the other side at defensive end. And got a linebacker up. Michael Campbell, they blocked him right into the quarterback, and a little inside screen goes for very little for Hunter Stroud from Reynolds.
And obviously, it's like you said, they're going to take whatever we can give them. But
if they want to take that, they can have it. 2 yards play. That's perfectly fine.
I agree with that. And obviously, you want to give them the lowest or the none amount you can give. Obviously, you don't want to give up any of those big plays and have them move the chains.
Right now, it looks like we're about to pin our ears back and just go right at them. As you see, triplets on their end near us, one receiver on the far side, and Reynolds is going to go upfield. And, man, what a good throw and good catch. Braden LaFollette in very good position there. He just could not get to it as Jace LaFerry hauls in A.J. Reynolds' first down pass. So, and no disrespect to LaFollette. That was a wonderful job covering that pass. He just did not make the play. There's really no way around it. Reynolds hands the ball off, and here, nice job by the linebacker core filling in. Saw both Steve-O and Albert Aguirre. You also saw Shanks in there on that play. Excellent job meeting Shrake right at the point of attack and stopping him cold.
Yeah. And obviously that's something you want the linebackers want for themselves just as much as anybody else. They want to get there and stop that ball and force a 4 and out.
Well, and right now you feel like you can kind of key on Shrake. He's been getting the ball quite a bit here, so I feel like that's what we're doing. We kind of know it's coming. Then they'll mix in a pass or two here. They're almost predictable. Same deal. Shrake
Shrake.
Yeah. Our guys in the middle are just making a pile. Connor Bentley's making a pile right there in the middle, and our linebackers are filling. And that's just good football, period, in the story. That's a great job by that group of gentlemen, those 4 in the front and 3 in the back.
So in comes Bo Dilly for the Martinsville Artesians.
And 3rd and long here for Marty.
Maybe looking for a jump.
I can bet they're not going to hand it off to Shrake here, but you never know. So it looks like they're a little confused in their formation here. It looks like maybe they got it figured out, and they're going to waste a timeout here because folks are not lined up right. You see Bo Dilly and Hunter Stroud and Jace LaFerry look like they weren't really sure where they were supposed to be, and the clock ran down on them, and they called a timeout. So defense bowing up, doing their job here. They look really sharp right now, this group of gentlemen.
So we got about 7:25 to go here in the second. It is 3rd and 9. They got the ball on the 48-yard line.
And for those of you just joining us in the first quarter, kind of trickled into the second here. Hawks offense just not able to get anything going here. First 2 drives ended in interceptions. Maybe a total of 3 plays between the first 2 drives, maybe 4 at the most. Second drive, we moved the ball a little bit and unfortunately just fumbled it away. And so that's kind of how the offense has gone. Now, this has been one of those games where the defense is keeping the offense in there. Our defense has played pretty darn good thus far.
I agree. And obviously, it's something that, the defensive coaches and offensive coaches don't want to see is their team give up the ball 3 different times on 3 different possessions. So they will be back and will definitely get that score they've been looking for all game.
And Reynolds looking to throw downfield. He's going down the middle, double covered, and just overthrows the wide receiver.
Looking for Mason Dotson there.
Yeah, and just out of Dotson's reach. But it always amazes me in high school football. I'll see a quarterback throw into double and triple coverage more on a lot of occasions, and I kind of scratch my head. You've got one-on-ones up top, got one-on-one down here near us, and he chooses to go down the seam to the guy that's double covered.
So Ben Field in here now for Bo Dilly.
And it looks like I would hope they would punt here, 4th and 9. But you never know. I mean, that's the dangerous part about having your quarterback back there. If he sees something, he can throw. And we're going with the nobody back, and it goes in the end zone. And so far, that's been pretty good for us. Thank goodness they don't have Pat McAfee out there, using his 90-degree wedge and dropping it on the tube.
I agree, and that feels like a play that I really only see in high school football is having your quarterback back there punting that ball.
Yeah, but I mean, you could see it makes me nervous, as an old football coach, when you have your quarterback who can throw back there to punt, and if he sees something out here, he's going to change the play and go rogue, and that's why it's so dangerous. I harken back to Ben Davis 2001 with James Banks, who's Mr. Football. He's probably the most electric high school football player I've ever seen. And they put him in, and he would purple punt back there. But there were a few rare occasions he'd take off, or he would throw. So it was interesting.
And I love it when a fake punt happens. It's one of the more electrifying plays, especially when it gets pulled off. And you think about the Houston Oilers, they had one of the best, if not the best, fake punt play in all of NFL history. And
so we're second down. First down was a run for no gain there. So Bo Polston in the backfield. Albert Aguirre coming to the near side here. He's got Inpo Dodo, and that's exactly who's going to get it. Inpo makes a move, makes a cut up field, and he's still on his feet. He may get the corner here. If he does, he's gone.
That's a touchdown.
What a great job, Dodo. I don't see any laundry on the field anywhere. And again, downfield blocking and good decision-making by Inpo Dodo.
What a play.
That young man has been dynamite this year.
And it's like you said earlier, he 100% deserves that captain's spot.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah, that young man clearly is a leader. Got the pleasure of seeing him all last year during track season and just see how he works. That kid is a worker, blue-collar, lunch pail football player. But you saw he's dynamic, making good decisions, good cuts. So we are going to see tonight we have the debut of a freshman long snapper. Troy Van Gelgerhoist is going to snap here to Bryson Bonowit, who's been the holder for 2 years now for Ashton Vogel. So let's see how that young man, Troy Van Gelgerhoist, does there. Excellent snap, excellent hold, and we are up 7-3 now.
Obviously, it's like you said, those plays it's those mistakes that'll get you, and right there it was the downfield blocking for the Decatur Central Hawks that helped Enpo get into that end zone and put us up 7-3.
Yeah, that is a huge, after the first 3 drives, man, those fellas needed that shot in the arm there, and they got a big one. What was that, about a 60-yard, 65-yard run
65.
By Inpo Dodo. That's a stat builder right there. You like to see that, and how great is that? You see a true freshman come in and take over long snapping duties from a senior and shoot a dart back there right to Bryson Bonowit. Troy Van Gelgerhoist, the new long snapper here. That's huge to come in and do that. So the Hawks lead 7-3 right now. Like we said, there have been 3 turnovers, but knock on wood, knock, knock, knock. They've not hurt us just yet, because they've only come away with 3 points off of those turnovers.
That's some fuel in the tank for both the offense and the defense.
Yeah, that's huge. So did you see standout kicker Ashton Vogel, who, if you are a Division I college coach or just a college coach in general listening, that young man would be a quality addition to your football team.
100%. And he's still got 1 more year left for us.
And he kicks that to about the 3-yard line, and their tailback, Shrake, runs into his own man and falls down.
Looks like he got tripped up a little there.
Yeah, that was less than spectacular from their side, unfortunately for them. Yeah, he just ran into his own man, and by that time, that's slowing his momentum down. He had 3 Hawks down there on his back.
Yeah, so bringing the ball out to their own 22-yard line.
Yeah, I'm a little intrigued by their starting tailback being one of their kick returners. I guess ours is too. I mean, now that I think about it, so. I guess you put the best kids you have in the best spots you have for them. So that's
agreed.
So as you see, Reynolds is just going to hand it off there to Shrake, who does a little off tackle there, and he is met and hawk rolled
with the tackle there.
Hawk rolled there, textbook style. Nice gain on first down for them there. It's a gain of about 6. So 2nd and 4, maybe 5. I guess a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 here. Reynolds in the shotgun, got Shrake next to him, and they are just going to run the same play other side. Shrake bounces it out, and maybe a gain of 2, 3 at the most.
And again, you can just hear our cheerleaders down there getting the home section, home crowd fired up for this defensive drive.
I'll be honest, I think this halftime might be the most eventful thing we've had at halftime in a while. Saw the band practicing. They sounded wonderful. As Shrake again, and he squirts through for a first down. So, look, I feel like our guys are standing up a little bit here instead of staying low to make tackles and shedding blocks here. Maybe we scored a touchdown, and they've worked hard in this first half thus far. So maybe they're a little bit pooped here, a little tired. But Shrake looks pretty good there running the ball, and so they're going to put a ball up in the air, and oh my gosh,
what a catch there!
My goodness, throw and catch.
That looks like
to Mason Dotson there. Just fingertips. Reynolds put the ball where only he could catch it. 2 guys on him. What a heck of a throw and catch! I mean, tip of the cap to those 2 gentlemen. Kind of reminiscent of Columbus North last year.
That's some good football right there. And well, we're on the verge of that. Obviously, I want to skip ahead a few weeks. Obviously, we want to play it week by week. But I'd like to remind you guys that here in 2 weeks, we do have the homecoming game against Plainfield.
And MJ Campbell knocks that ball down. So, yeah, MJ Campbell knocks the ball down from the quarterback. All right, as we see, we apologize for the language we hear there in the background. Unfortunately, some folks are less than cognizant of being in public.
They're just looking for that call, and they did not get that one. So
4:34 to go here, 2nd and 10 for Martinsville on the Decatur Central 39-yard line.
So snap here by Reynolds, going to be handed off to Shank.
Yeah, and I mean, Shrake is their battering ram, and he's just kind of doing his thing right now.
100%.
4 or 5 on just about every play. So you think here pretty soon you're going to start seeing lots of big uglies come in and maybe a heavy package here. You see Aaron Davis in there right now, number 95, to come in the middle and making an impact right there. He was definitely a part of that tackle. So it's kind of nice. We've gotten a few guys back from injury. You've got Maurice Carter and Aaron Davis coming in here. Given Javian Jones, fewer snaps, which Javian Jones is exceptional, but, the man plays on both sides of the football, and some nights he's getting 120, 130 snaps. That's a lot for anybody. You guys all saw, the Colorado player last week played 160 snaps. His name escapes me. That's a lot for anybody. So it's kind of nice to have those guys to come in and give him a break, and kind of makes our defensive line a little more dynamic too.
100% agreed. So let me ask you this while we're waiting: how pumped up are you for this upcoming homecoming game we got against Plainfield here in the next few weeks?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is, how did we do last year against Plainfield? 0-2. So that's the first thing is if I want to see a win.
100%. That's what you'd love to see.
Yeah, and then second to that is I feel like the heart of Decatur Township is its graduates and alumni. There are so many people that went to this school, and a very nice tight end pass there, a little tight end screen, and they're going to get a helmet-to-helmet penalty there on that, a little high. Came in a little high on that. I didn't really see who hit the tight end there. Couldn't tell what number that was, but got him a little tough there. So they're going to call like an unnecessary roughness penalty there, or helmet-to-helmet penalty. I'm not exactly sure how they categorize it.
So in comes Javen Jones for Aaron Davis.
Yeah, but anyhow, so back to your question. Sorry about that.
You're all right.
I feel like our alumni is the heartbeat and heart and soul of our township. There's so many people that come back to Decatur and work at Decatur, and I think that's special. A lot of the people inside our building are Decatur graduates, and I'm not, unfortunately. However, man, I've been taken in and treated like family since my first day here in 2014. There's so many people that have taken me in, and I think the alumni base is what makes it special. It truly is family here, and everybody takes care of everybody. And so I think homecoming is a special day, and I implore you guys to come out and support these young men.
And that looks like that'll be...
It looks like they're calling short.
Stop short.
Yeah,
probably
maybe
about the 1, maybe 2 yard line.
Yeah, so Martinsville's knocking on the door once again here with 3:29 to go in the game here.
You mentioned you've been here since 2014, so hopefully both of us are back here next year and we can both sit here and enjoy 10 years of Decatur Central Hawks football.
Yeah, nothing more special. I remember we started doing this. I want to say we started in 2017, myself and Todd Sconce, and man, it's been one of the best things I've ever done in my life. I'm truly lucky to be here doing this and truly blessed, and so that'd be real special to celebrate that. As you see, Shrake gets upended, but I think he fell in.
So that'd be a touchdown for the Martinsville Archies.
Yeah.
It's bringing the score to 9-7 with about 2:51 left to play in the second quarter.
And that young man has just been blue-collar working. I mean, I would venture to guess he's got about 50% of their snaps here in the first half.
He'll definitely be looking for a great season. Obviously, he's a senior, so he's off to hopefully college next year, and he can do him and be a great player just as much as anybody else in college.
Yeah, and also, hasn't been perfect, but, their quarterback, Reynolds, he can all around. I mean, he's thrown at least 2 dimes thus far to his wide receivers. So, I mean, they're very capable on offense. I feel like they do a lot of the same thing, though. They don't have a huge playbook, in my opinion. Obviously I'm no Nick Saban or Steve Spurrier or, insert offensive guru Bill Belichick. But seems like they run a lot of similar plays. They don't have a huge amount of play, which thus far they haven't needed them.
Not at all, and I 100% agree with that. I mean, now obviously having a massive playbook and doing the same plays over and over can cause you to be predictable, if you will, when it comes to it, and that's why we've been able to make some big stops here.
Well, and I recently spoke to my high school football coach. His name is Dave Shelbourne. He is a former quarterback of Northwestern, graduated in 1969 from there. Before Northwestern went to the Rose Bowl in 95, he was the last winning quarterback they had. So, man has a resume. Coached at Highland, took them to state finals, coached my group in high school. We were 10-2 my senior year. Think the world of him. And, his remark to me was that when you get to a program, give them about 5 or 6 plays and learn them well, kind of like a Green Bay Packers thing. Learn those plays and learn them very well, and you could be very successful with that. As you see, Casimir Hicks, jumping tackles here, a very nice return by him. We're going to get 1st and 10 here from the 25-yard line, 2:43 to go. So we have time to come back and score here and at least, give Ashton Vogel a shot to tie this up and maybe even, take the lead here.
Yeah, you have to think, though, that one timeout will definitely come into factor at some point here during this drive.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I feel like Ashton Vogel is just a difference maker, man. He's such a difference maker. A lot of teams do not have a kicker as a weapon. I mean, I would venture to guess maybe 10% of the teams in the state of Indiana have that kind of thing. As you see the pass to Chris Richmond fall incomplete. I think that went through Chris's hands into a Martinsville guy's hands and then hit the turf.
There was definitely a lot of artisans there ready for that ball in case anything happened.
Yeah, and he did a nice job of rounding off his route there right at the midfield DC logo and getting right in front of that Martinsville defense. The problem was the ball went through his hands. So you don't want – that's one of the worst things that could happen to you in that situation, unfortunately. Lucked out here as brings up 2nd and 10 here for your Hawks. Bo is going to send Inpo Dodo in motion, and he's just cutting through guys. And, he got tripped up there. Nice job there. Didn't see who tripped him up. But, man, he's just dynamic tonight. He's got another gear here. Yeah, and he just got tripped up there at the end. My goodness.
If he didn't get tripped up there, that would have been a few more positive yards and one step closer to that end zone.
Yeah, it gets us another first down here. Still, good Lord, Bo was trying to pat the ball to throw it and just knocked it out of his own hands. Thank goodness we landed on it.
Why is the clock stop? Why is the clock stop? You guys fumbled the ball. At least 12 seconds. Sure got to do it. Sorry.
So almost a turnover there. That ball was recovered by Garrett Smith.
So to put us at a 2nd down and 10 from about our own 32.
And Bull Poston's going to send Albert Aguirre out to the flat. They're going to set up an internal screen as Chris Richmond gets the ball tonight. Maybe had it one other time tonight, his 2nd touch. And he will move forward for a gain of about 5 or 6 there. Felt like he ran for quite a while to get 5 or 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down. So maybe about 5, 3rd and 5 here.
So we got Casey Berry here closer. Casey Berry and Empo Dodo closer here to us, and you got Chris Mitchell right on the far side.
And a quick pass out to Casey Berry, who was ready this time. Makes one man miss, takes on a tackler, and ran out of bounds just at midfield there.
Stopping the clock with 1:11 left to play, moving the chains for Decatur Central.
I feel like maybe we got to get I'd say about to the 35 here, so another 15 yards here for
a tie from Ashton Vogel.
Yeah, so for Ashton Vogel here. Sorry, I went blank there for a minute.
You're all right. That's why you got a partner here to back you up. And
good man. Appreciate you.
Say what you forget. Got to be on the same page.
So what do you do here? Do you run the ball or do you go downfield here? Take a shot.
I would say maybe run the ball. It is a first down, so looks like Bo will take the
Bo's
snap.
going to step up and run.
In for himself.
And I was going to say, good call by Bo. Just get that out of bounds, stop the clock again, pick up what you can. Pretty nice gain there, though.
Mason Kirchhoff there, ready just in case he didn't go out of bounds there.
Yeah, and tip of the cap to their defensive coordinator calling up a blitz that we did not pick up on that backside. And smart heads-up play by Bo for just – seeing that, reading it, realizing it, seeing an opening, and running for the sideline. So minute 5 now. So it took 6 seconds off the clock for that last play. I can't imagine we're going to go downfield, but we might here. As Bull Pulse is in the shotgun, he's looking, goes intermediate to Inpo, and I think he's going to get a first down. They're going to mark him at a first down on the other side of the 40. And that'll stop the clock here momentarily. 1 minute here as we are moving the football here. I feel like for the first time tonight we've got a nice rhythm in the passing game. I really don't think you're going to see a whole lot of running here with it. The clock being under a minute now.
Obviously, still got that one timeout that'll come into play.
Yeah, I think Coach Enright will definitely use that. And Bo gets hit as he's thrown, but he makes the connection.
Richmond.
And clock's still going to run, so you might see that timeout here as you do, 34.2. And with
So
Bo,
about the 39-yard line.
Bo had a guy draped on him as he threw the football and still able to complete it to Chris Richmond. Feel like our guys are running really good routes tonight.
Definitely, and it's second, about to be coming into halftime here, so they're trying to get the ball down there just as fast as they can, whether it's Ashton Vogel getting the tie of the game or Bo Polston getting a receiver or calling his own number into the end zone here tonight.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to watch the receivers running their routes at the different levels that Martinsville's giving them. And Bo is doing a great job reading that, hitting guys. Obviously, early, they had some issues, but looks like we've worked those out for the most part. You got Inpo Dodo slashing everywhere, making great cuts making great cuts there in the holes that he sees. So, like what's going on. Obviously, we're on the other end of the score right now, 10-7. Martinsville leads. 36 seconds to go here in the first half, and you think you got about 2 or 3 plays here?
Maybe
more. I mean, the last few have only gone 5 or 6 seconds, so it looks like we got some sort of a false start here. Somebody move a receiver, take off too early. I didn't really see what happened. I don't see anybody moving on my screen here. I got a little delay on my screen, and I don't see any movement.
So the clock has stopped in the result
okay,
of the play stopping.
So they put the clock back at 36 seconds here, and we're going to try that again. That was odd. I don't know what the issue was.
I think the clock got played.
And Bo is out. There's some sort of a penalty flag out in the backfield as he passes to Chris Richmond and goes out of bounds. I didn't really see what the penalty flag was for. I don't know if there's a hold or what. It's kind of weird.
It looked like he threw that past the line of scrimmage, so possibly that.
Now that may be true. But they are marking the ball at the 10-yard line, so I'm not really sure.
Maybe they're going to call that back.
Yeah, I don't know the official. He called something on Martinsville. Hold on Martinsville, and it's declined. So that play will stand, folks, and it'll be 1st and 10, or is it going to be 1st and goal? It is going to be.
Looks like it looks like it's on the 10. So.
Yeah, that's where I think it's going to be 1st and goal. We'll see once they set the sticks down or not. So yeah, it'll be 1st and goal from the 10 here. 26 seconds. There's some good time left here, and I would like to see an in-pull Dodo slash and carry here.
100%.
And something happened here. I don't know if somebody jumped or maybe we didn't have people set.
Obviously, we not able
Didn't
to
look
tell.
like there might be a jump on that far side. So Hawks are going to come back 5 yards, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 15.
So Decatur Central with no more timeouts, and the Martinville Artesians with 2. So we'll see how those come into play, or if they're just going to let the clock run out.
So here we go here. 1st and goal from the 15. A little bit of a high snap. And again, they run that linebacker blitz through the open gap. And Bo Polston completes a shovel pass, a chest pass. Nope, they're going to say it was incomplete.
He was looking for Albert Aguirre there on that play.
I thought that was a catch, but the head official says absolutely not. So the old Bo Polston chest pass falls incomplete. And we're going to get another shot at it. It'll be 2nd down and 15.
So the clock stops with 18.1 left.
And I'm sure Bo was thinking, I don't want to take a sack here, so he just kind of threw it chest pass style into Albert's feet. And Albert tried to scoop that up, but no dice. So Albert to the near side to us on Bo Polston in the shotgun. He's looking to throw. He's got a fade for Casey Berry. And I'll be honest, I don't think Casey knew he was even coming to him. He didn't even look like he was prepared, and then all of a sudden saw the ball in the air and almost made a OMG catch.
So that brings up a 3rd and 15 from the 15-yard line.
And the Martinsville defensive back wanted an offensive pass interference, and that just was not true. That wasn't there, or at least that I saw.
So they got one more play here to run And you'd have to think if they don't get it, they call Ashton Vogel out, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have to. This is well within his range. So you're going to take one more shot at the end zone. I don't know that it'll be a fade. It looks like maybe they'll go to the far side, and he's going right to the middle of the field. And Pharrell Carter, and they're going to say it's incomplete. He did not come down with the football. It was a tug of war between him and the defensive back, and when they hit the ground, the ball squirted away.
So here comes Ashton Vogel and his kicking special teams to attempt to tie the game before halftime.
So 6.6 seconds here. So once this happens, regardless, I think Martinsville gets the ball at the 20 if he misses. If not, we will kick it off. And we're going to get a timeout from Martinsville. Let Ashton Vogel think about it here. And you can't see it on our screen, but there is a plethora of young folks in the far end beyond the end zone. It's kind of cool to see them all huddled up in their team colors. See a orange and white team, yellow and white team, yellow and black team. It's kind of neat. Blue and white teams over there. You see a whole line of all those cheerleaders we've been talking about. You'll get to see them here very soon.
100%.
So 6.6 seconds on the far hash for Ashton Vogel. So he's a right-footed kicker, so this goes with his natural motion. The idea is you aim for that far right upright, and the idea is once you follow through, it'll end up dead center. And here he goes. You got to dig. He's wearing the yellow neon highlighter shoe and the blue shoe on the right foot. And it looks pretty good to me, and it is. And the height on that thing was ridiculous. So
that would have been good from a few more yards back. So there's 3.5 seconds left to play. I'm assuming you just let this ball get kicked and let it go into half with the score tied. So the score is now 10-10.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, how we played early in the first half or first quarter to be tied at 10 going in at half is we're pretty lucky, truth be told. And I think Coach Enright would say that.
100%. And it's those mistakes that'll always come back to get you. And
yeah,
luckily we've learned from some of the mistakes we've made. And obviously we got that lucky fumble recovery helping us go down the field and score, helping Ashton Vogel tie the game for us going into halftime. So,
yeah, and it's just it's one of those tough games where you're trying to get the bad taste of your first loss out of your mouth, and obviously everything that Bo went through between a week from today and now. So he hasn't had time to work with the receivers, and anybody that knows anything about quarterback play, timing with your receivers is huge. It's everything, and that young man has not practiced a minute this week. He literally just got cleared yesterday to play today, and so that's pretty significant. So as you see, Martinsville's going to bring it out here, and they're going to be brought down at about the 31, and that'll end that first quarter. That was Hunter Stroud that returned that, and we're fortunate to go in tied at 10 at halftime. So we are going to take a break here, and we're going to let you enjoy the halftime show. And so we'll be back in, what about 10 minutes?
10,
All
15.
right. Actually, it looks like it's 20 minutes halftime. So we'll actually be back probably about 19 minutes to be more correct. So we will see you in a little bit, and enjoy the halftime show, folks.
All righty, folks.
All right, folks, we are back, and it is the kickoff to start the second half. They squib it back to Casimir Hicks, and he's going to matriculate it to the far side of the field, gets it blocked by Inpo Dodo.
Flag on the play.
Definitely a flag on the play, as two fellas working hard out there, blocking all the way upfield. You like to see the effort there, and then you like to see the mutual respect. They both pat each other on the back.
Tell you one thing, though. I love seeing all the fans here and stuff tonight and out ready to support their Hawks for the second half of football.
Yeah, and I think I'm sure Coach Enright gave the let's just forget about that first half. It's 0-0. Come out like the game has just begun and
100%.
Play Hawk football. So just on an update for those of you that are interested, Ben Davis is taking on IMG Academy, which is perpetually number one in the country. Their entire starting offensive line is going to big-time D1. Ben Davis down 21-0 right now before halftime.
IMG is one of those schools you don't mess with.
And that was just a bad coverage there, as they did a nice job of sending a linebacker off the edge, and we did not pick that up. And Bo Polston gets dropped back considerably with the sack. They're going to mark it at the 5-yard line. So it'll be second and quite a ways,
19.
maybe 20, 19 or 20 yards there for your Hawks. So not a great start there.
So backed up in our own end zone here. Bo Polston coming to take the snap here. He's going to hand it off. That is.
And there's a flag there, probably a hold, and Enpo Dodos might take this to the house. And that's exactly.
What a play by Enpo Dodo, going from the entire length of the field. And other than
I'm
that
afraid
flag,
it's coming back. Yeah, I'd say I'm afraid that's coming back. So unfortunately, wipe the 95-yard run by Enpo Dodo off the board. And
so
man,
a holding play brings that back, and
that turns your stomach a little bit.
100%. I mean, you just seen Enpo just go right there, and he was not turning off those jets, and now all of that for nothing, which obviously he's probably a little upset about, but
and that just stinks. I mean, there's no real way around it. That's just really unfortunate and really stinks. Now, with that being said, I've done that in my time as an offensive lineman. Taking a touchdown off the board. I'm sure the lineman that was caught doing that feels awful, which I feel awful for them. So the Hawks slowly just going backwards here.
It's second and 22 to go.
Yeah, so we've got 2 plays and minus 12.5 yards.
And it's, again, one of those things you talk about. It's definitely one of those positions you don't like wanting to be in.
Well, and it's a thankless job. Offensive line, they typically don't get a lot of fanfare. And nice play to pick up some yards, get those back.
Chris Richmond with the catch there.
And just a nice, easy, security blanket throw here.
Yeah.
Safe play. Picks up 12 of those 22 and brings up a 3rd and 10.
So back to where we started the drive before the long sack. See what Coach Enright and Bo Polstein have cooked up here to hopefully get us back in that first down and keep this drive going.
Yeah, and Bo's got to throw the ball downfield here a little bit. So, Martinsville knows what's coming as he gets to Pharrell Carter. And that's going to be a first down, boys. Like
first
to see
down.
that.
It's definitely better than a second and 22, as you say.
Buddy, you ain't kidding. And I tell you, one thing that was missing in the first half is Pharrell Carter.
Yeah, you didn't hear his name called much at all.
No. So to see him get started like this, let's build on that. And I think he's a rhythm receiver. That's just my opinion. I think he's got to get a couple of touches here. As
here to Enpo Dodo.
Dodo's unleashed here, and he runs into a sandwich there.
I'll tell you what, though, I did enjoy that halftime show.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Our band's as good as any school in the state of Indiana, in my opinion. just went through a big transition. Mr. Tim Cox leaving the band and going to another job, and we wish him the best of luck in his new endeavor. But Mr. Bess has come in and just picked up right where Mr. Cox has left off. I know, a lot of folks are fond of Mr. Cox. He's been the Township Teacher of the Year, deservedly so. He puts so much effort into this band, and I have no doubt Mr. Bess is going to continue that tradition. And as you can see, I mean, they're very talented. We have a great band here at Decatur Central High School. And also our color guard. Our color guard is phenomenal. They looked great.
Yep.
Humongous fan of their uniforms. I love that gold on bright yellow look there. And have several of my students that are in the color guard, and they do just a phenomenal job.
So Ball calling his own number here.
Yeah, it looked like he picked up maybe a couple there. As we're doing it again. We're back second and about 14 here after a penalty.
So obviously this is the first drive of the third quarter, so they're looking to capitalize on the kick from Ashton Vogel right before the half.
And Bo's coming around the corner. He's got a guy on his back, and he's just going to run it out of bounds. I mean, the play, just didn't develop as he thought, and just did the same thing, running it out of bounds as he loses a yard or two. He might have had Inpo Dodo and Pharrell Carter open there in kind of the middle tier there, but obviously Bo did not feel comfortable throwing the ball to those gentlemen in that situation.
Not at all.
So again, still backing up here. So we're taking 2 steps back to take 1 step forward.
Absolutely. So 3rd and 15 here for the Decatur Central Hawks. Obviously, this has been one of the more pass-dominant drives we've had throughout the game, and just barely beat the clock.
And there's Pharrell Carter again breaking a tackle and moving it upfield, and he's definitely tied up there. So he's going to move it out to about the 25, very close to a first down. So I think that'll be 4th and maybe yard and a half.
So what are we thinking here? They just go ahead and go for it?
That's what it looks like. So maybe try and draw them off, call a timeout, decide whether you want to punt it away or whether you want to run a play here. You are in your own end of the field. It's tough. I don't see them not punting here.
Yeah.
Maybe a purple punt here. It's tough on the O-line. Good job by them of holding their stances. And I'll tell you, and Bo Polston's going to go for it. He's going to get a first down and a couple more.
It's like you said earlier when Martinsville did that.
Yeah, that was pretty snazzy.
Split second, and obviously that play for them resulted in not being a first. But
it's definitely a coin toss. I like our chances when you have a running quarterback like Bo is.
Absolutely.
It happens where you're going to get stuffed on those short plays, but he did a great job there. And tip of the cap to our guys up front holding their stance from day one in the summer. I will tell you right now, Coach Dennis Sherritt practices stances. I mean, that's literally the first thing we do on day number 1 is holding our stance.
So there's going to be a flag here.
Yeah, they're waving off the flag there on Martinsville for either a horse collar or a face mask, as you hear both sides of the argument. Folks are very demonstrative this evening. So if you hear something off color, we do apologize for that, as we are live and we are in the public, and some folks sometimes slip a word in that the broadcast picks up. So and we apologize for those things. That's something that we really can't control, unfortunately.
Looked like one of the Martinsville players did jump, but the refs didn't see it.
And Inpo Dodo around the corner there. And he'll get us back to the original line of scrimmage, it looks like there. And maybe even a couple more. So about 3rd and 8. We're doing a nice job of getting out of the hole once we've dug it, but that is not going to last. That's just not good policy.
It's like you said, though, got to take 2 steps back to take 1 forward. So
Yeah, that's kind of what this drive has been thus far. Feel like we've gotten a lot of yards, but haven't really moved up. We're not across midfield yet. As Polston's in shotgun, looking downfield, got a guy on his hip, took a shot as he threw.
Looking for Chris Richmond on that play, but it just barely hits off the fingertips and brings up a 4th and 8.
Had a guy at his feet grabbing, dragging, splitting his feet apart, and it's really, really tough to throw like that. And credit to Martinsville, they're getting pressure on the quarterback this drive. They are getting after it. They're sending linebackers, sending lots of blitzes. They're getting through. We got to do a better job up front of picking those up and protecting Bo.
Yep. So here comes a punt.
And a bad snap. Another mistake. Talked about that in the coaches show with Coach Enright. We've got to get the snaps better.
So let's put it at about maybe the 42.
Yeah. It's going to be the 46 there of Decatur Central is where Martinsville will take over. And that was a huge issue last week in Whiteland, where you're giving the opponent a short field. That does not bode well for the Hawks. So Martinsville in the shotgun, giving it off to Schrank. He's got a hole in the middle, and he dances through, makes a nice jump cut, falls forward about a gain of 7.
Obviously, you still have to give credit where it's due. Bo Polston coming in here after just getting cleared yesterday off that
for
injury,
sure.
And still trying to come out here and lead the team to victory, just as if he was never injured. So
yeah, and you hate to keep beating the dead horse. This is high school football. This is not the NFL. These are adolescent youth. This is not a grown man adult. So to do what they do in the NFL is very different from being a high school sophomore. On top of that, he's not even a senior; he's a sophomore, and that's really tough. That's a big ask of a young man to do that, and he's doing it admirably. As you see, Reynolds handed it off against a Schrank.
Schrank getting both of the last 2 calls there. So
yeah, we're going to see him a lot tonight. Obviously, like I said, I'd venture a guess that young man has been 50% of their offense tonight. But they do a nice job of sprinkling in the pass and spreading it around.
Obviously, Hunter Stroud, one of their receivers that have caught most of those balls when thrown tonight.
Well, and Mason Dotson has been the recipient of several. So it's impressive. As you see, the aforementioned Hunter Stroud goes into motion. And if you have a play that takes time to develop, you're probably not going to be successful against this defense. As you see Bryson Bonowit pinching down from the backside defensive end and making a textbook play there, and he was fired up. Actually, he's an outside linebacker in that formation, just reading it perfectly. I agree, Dustin Mix. I feel like our D has been on point all night. They've done admirably, especially with having to short rest and having to come back in after some turnovers.
So Schrank stopped right there, probably about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. They're definitely keying on him. 3rd and 11 here. Kind of tough to see from this angle. I'm trying to watch it on the monitor. Yeah, it's kind of tough to see there, but we appreciate our cameramen and supporting us so we can still see the game, even though we can't physically see it with our own eyes here. So Reynolds gets the play. The play clock dwindling down to 5, 4, 3, and they just get it off, and he's going to have to throw it away. And on 3rd down, a big quarterback pressure there by defensive ends, MJ Campbell and Shanks, number 29, Jalen Shanks. And it looked like Albert Aguirre's back there in his face as well, and that's all he could do was throw it away.
And that's the smartest decision you could do there, but that does now bring up a 4th and 11, so obviously not glad that there was no gain on that play. But
well, that play also tells you that our defensive backs are playing well, because he didn't have anywhere to go with the football. Our cornerbacks were locked up, our safeties were where they're supposed to be, and we're getting pressure from our defensive ends and a linebacker. That's how you draw it up as a coach. So you're thinking they're going to go for a quick punt here. That would be the logical idea.
This home crowd for the Decatur Central Hawks rumbling right now. Press box shaking.
Well, and the other interesting thing about this, or the thought that came to my head, and they're going to go for it here, and I don't. And they got a man wide open in the middle of the field.
Oh,
what an excellent play by Pharrell Carter.
Looking for his man. He was looking for Hunter Stroud there, but just.
And for a second, I thought Pharrell might have caught that and went the other way. Great job of him by high pointing the ball at the same time as Hunter Stroud. It kind of hung up there. Reynolds hung one up there a little bit and high pointed it and broke up that pass. What a great job by Pharrell.
Made both of those guys jump for that.
And he looked like Cody Bellinger playing center field there. For all you Cubs fans out there.
So Decatur Central holding this ball for most of this half here, or this quarter, sorry. And so they get it back with about 3:28 left to play in the third.
Well, and the other significance of that play.
Screen pass here to Pharrell Carter.
The other significance of that pass breakup by Pharrell is that instead of them punting and you get the ball at the 20 or, them downing it inside the 10 or whatever, you get the ball at what was that, about the 35? That's huge. That's that hidden yards that Coach Dennis Sherritt and Kyle Enright talk about in a game that are massive. We talked about Martinsville getting the ball on our side of the field to start that drive. So us getting it that far out of the end zone is huge. And inside handoff to Inpo Dodo, who's been pretty electric all night. Every time he gets the ball, he's done something positive. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more of him in this offense here going forward.
He's definitely been one of our main guys here tonight.
He had about a 65-yard touchdown for the only touchdown of the night. He had a 95-yard touchdown scrubbed.
96.
I mean, golly, he's got to be hating it for his stats that one came off the board, but he's just he's an electric individual akin to Casey Berry.
So another snap here.
And Bo's going to keep it. He's running behind his offensive lineman. Looked like Nate Callahan sprung him free, and Bo is off to the races. That goes out of bounds at about the 30. What a great block upfield by Nathan Callahan, number 55. You'll see him just hold guys up enough so that Bo had a running lane to get upfield. And you see Bo gives Nate his props because that kid had a wonderful job creating a running lane for his quarterback.
Absolutely. That was the smart read there, too. Obviously, you saw that if he handed that off to Enpo is getting stuffed in the backfield. So,
yeah,
great read there by Bo to get those extra yards.
And that fires me up, being an old O-line, D-line guy, seeing somebody do something like that to spring a run free. I just see Bo sprint out. Nice little pass in the breadbasket. Casey Berry's still on his feet. He's going to switch sides or try and switch fields, and he's brought down.
He was fighting for that one, too. He was hoping to stay back up and reverse it once again.
Well, the only thing stinks about that is him fighting was backwards, and he's going to lose about 2 yards from the catch. But still, just a really safe, making the smart, easy play there to Casey. He's wide open, catches it real easy, and tries to turn upfield. And I'll be honest, I think that's our game. I think that's how we beat New Pal is doing those smart passes with these guys, and then every now and then you take your shots. You hand the ball off.
And also, you have to give big respects to this O-line, making sure that their quarterback stays.
Yeah, I feel like they've done a much better job in this quarter.
100%, and they're doing their best to protect Bo back there, making sure he doesn't have another injury like he did last week. And
yeah, as you see, Pharrell Carter on the end around, he's a kind of a speedster here, trying to get him outside. And so 3rd down and 4, a manageable 3rd down and 4. I agree with you, Dustin Mix. I'd like to see Inpo Dodo break one here. I could see that happening any time here.
You got to give respects to Bo, too. He's been playing one heck of a game and didn't practice a single minute this week.
Yeah, I think we're going to see one of those RPOs here with Bo, and he does just that. A seam right up there to, who did we say? Inpo Dodo. And so just a really nice little seam route that he runs up there and he takes it out to the 5-yard line. It'll give us 1st and goal for Hawks there knocking on the door. I could see we reward Inpo here with a little run. I could see something with Albert, or you could see Bo, these RPOs where Bo either gives or tucks and goes, could be anybody at this point. But it looks like we got Dodo here, and Bo's going to sprint out. He does almost like the Tim Tebow jump pass to Chris Richmond. 3 out of 4 games this year, that young man has found the end zone.
So that puts us back in the lead. That is 16-10. Hopefully Ashton Vogel can come out here and make it 17-10. Giving the Artesians the ball back with just about 30 seconds left to play in the third.
The other great thing about that drive is how much time did that just eat up? Almost the entire third quarter. That's huge. You play takeaway from Martinsville, don't even give them a chance. And that's a heck of a touchdown and a gritty drive. It started kind of rough, backing yourself up. You get out of it. You back yourself up, get out of it again. And then you finally get it together, and you just slowly, meticulously get that ball up the field, and you score on it. And that's great to see, man. And that bodes well for your O-line, just grinding down Martinsville. Your running backs, your wide receiver, everybody had a hand in that drive, from Chris Richmond scoring the touchdown to Inpo Dodo getting the nice seam route there and nice runs. Bo Polston making good choices with his throws, with his runs, when to go. Just lots and lots of guys. Nathan Callahan getting a great block to spring Bo. You could name, 8 of the 11 guys out there, did something on that drive to score a touchdown. That's a team touchdown, boys and girls.
100%. And now, obviously, Coach Enright probably gave that it's 0-0. Act like the first half never happened.
Yeah.
So now, you get that boost of confidence going up. You are now up by 1 score, kicking the ball off with about 30 seconds left to play in the third. So,
yeah, and that's amazing to me, just how much time. I mean, you're talking 10-minute drive in high school football. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And as you see, Ashton Vogel got a little juice on that one and got another touchback.
Started there on 20-yard line now.
Yeah, he put the foot into that one. That was nice. So 29 seconds to go here in the third. Your Hawks jump back on top, 17-10. And defense has been lunch pail blue collar, putting in work the whole game. Like I said, I can't say enough about having a few extra guys on that D-line to fill in some gaps that we did not have earlier this year. 95 Aaron Davis and 75 Maurice Carter. And there's a big run up the middle. He has been good all night. And it's a track meet. I think he's going to get walked here.
Caught there by Michael Campbell.
My goodness, man.
That's big respect.
Shrake has been knocking on the door all night long. He's pretty darn good.
That's big respects there to Casimir Hicks and Michael Campbell, both hunting him down and
running him down.
The score.
So just like that, Martinsville's back in the thick of it. It'll be is it first and 10 from the 11 or 12 there.
11-yard line.
And 10 seconds, 9, they're going to run another play, and guess who's going to get it? And he's going to get stifled. Falls forward for gain of 2, though. So it'll be 2nd and 8, and that'll end the third quarter. So we're going to take a walk to the other end. Well, the players are. We're going to sit here.
But sit here and watch them walk.
The players are going to walk to the other end. And, defense, again, got to make a big stand here and hold them to a field goal attempt if they can. They have worked hard tonight.
And dare you say they've been most of the reason we're still in this game.
Yeah, I think that would be a almost momentum killer if we can hold them to a field goal or nothing here. I feel like you gotta key on Shrake. Have to key on Shrake here. Like I said, the guy's been majority of their offense.
It's like you said, it's almost predictable how much they've been running with him tonight.
Yeah, and he just he found a seam there and gashed us, and we did not do very good what they call gap integrity on that last play, and he found a hole and was off to the races. I know this sounds odd to say, but thank goodness he had to run the entirety of the field so that we could catch him and stop him from scoring. A faster back is in the end zone. So thank goodness that was the case there. But, man, he's good.
A faster, or dare you say even beefier running back.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just a workhorse, man. So 12 minutes to go here in the game as we start the fourth quarter. It's 2nd and 8 for Martinsville. We are now facing south.
So Reynolds with the snap
and
here.
Guess who's got the football? And we get crashed on the outside, and he's going to get close. He might be just short, about a yard.
Tackle there by Hicks.
And we got to do a better job on the end there. Our end got pinched in, and our linebackers got blocked in, and he had tons of room out there to just get around the corner. Gotta keep your outside arm free and not get blocked, not get reached out there on that defensive end. And if I'm Martinsville, I give it to Shrake right up the middle. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Nice job on the backside.
Michael Campbell with the great play there.
Outside linebacker Michael Campbell just knifing in and making a great play, hitting him right in the knee area there and spinning him out. Yeah, and I think it may be 1st and goal now. That play got him enough for a first down. So 1st and goal for Martinsville. Here's hoping for a fumble. That'd be nice to see. That's the other thing. Shrake is ball security.
And that's a touchdown. That's number 87. That is Josh Jones.
Josh Jones has had that's his 3rd play of the night for the tight end. He's done pretty well this evening for Martinsville as they look to tie it up here with an extra point. So Martinsville responds. And in typical Decatur Central fashion this year, everything is a back and forth slugfest.
Absolutely.
You know, this may be one of those whoever has the ball last. It looks like we blocked the kick. I think that's exactly what happened. So no, I guess not. Just kidding. Everybody, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. The extra point's good, so we're tied at 17. But, man, I thought we blocked that kick. Just kidding. So 17 all, 11:26 to go in the ball game. So here in just a moment, we'll see Casimir Hicks and Impo Dodo. I can imagine they're probably not going to kick it to Impo Dodo.
No.
And I don't feel like they've been doing that at all tonight. So,
but if you look, Casimir Hicks on the return tonight's been an electrifying play.
Yeah, he's definitely set us up further than a touchback would.
Obviously.
On pretty much every opportunity he's had. He's brought around to 30, 35 most of the time.
Obviously, you saw he was part of that chase down tackle when they gave it to Sharik there. So,
hey, I'll be honest, the kid's just fast. I mean, he is just fast. There's no other way to describe him.
Not at all.
The gentleman knows how to get the football and get north and south, and he knows how to run. And it looks like they're setting up for an onside kick possibly here. We will see. And nope, he's going to put a foot into it. So, like I said, Casimir Hicks is going to bring it. Cuts back at midfield, runs into his own player, makes another cut. He's got some space, only the kicker ahead of him. He may go.
That may be.
And he gets around the corner. He is gone.
That's a kick return. That is Casimir Hicks.
I do not see a penalty anywhere out here.
No flags at all. Casimir Hicks with the kick return touchdown. What a play by that man right there.
We told you he was fast. He just demonstrated that to everybody.
What a play by Casimir Hicks. That makes the score 23-17.
I'm not going to lie. When's the last time you remember somebody returning a kick for Decatur Central to the house? Has it been in a little bit?
It has been a little bit, yes.
Well, in 20 seconds, we answered their score. And we also talked about special teams last week, even on our Coach's Corner with Coach Enright. And I don't think you can say a whole lot. Special teams has done pretty well this evening, as overall. Extra points, kick returns, and very nice job there. I can't tell you how difficult it is at any level to get the snap, the hold, the kick down, to get that operation to where it's almost automatic, and this group has done that, and it's a sight to see, man. Very, very impressed with Casimir Hicks there. Where would you think he received that ball? What would you think?
Probably
about 95 yard kick
95,
return?
Yeah.
And
maybe that's about the 7 when he finally, that ball was in his hand and he was
the decision he made at about the 35-yard line to do a cutback, and at first he ran into his own player, and I think everybody got jumbled there. Once he got outside, it was hit another gear, and up the sideline he went. Only the kicker to make the play, and he even had a blocker in front of him, and that gentleman just got in between the kicker and him, and that's exactly what you want. You don't really want him to block anybody. Just put your hands up and put a barrier between the tackler and your runner, and that's pretty much what he did.
That's what you want to do. You want to avoid any penalty that could happen and potentially bring that back. So,
all right, Ashton Vogel looking to put a foot in it. We all know their dangerous running back, Shrake, is back deep, as well as number 3, Hunter Stroud. And the ball bounces off of Martinsville. It's still loose. I don't know if Decatur's got it or not. We're going to see here. See what they rule.
Looking to see what
and it's Decatur Central ball. So Martinsville finally makes a mistake.
It's a game of mistakes.
Man. And you got a tip of the cap to them, though. I mean, they haven't had a whole lot of penalties. This is their first turnover of the game, and it comes at a really rough time for them. 11 minutes to go in the game. Here's the big deal: when you have them down, can you finish them off? This is that drive.
A score here would basically try to put the dagger in this game.
Yeah, this would be huge to come away with a touchdown here. I tell you what, you kind of go with the same MO as you went with the last drive. Take some time off that clock and score here. And Bo's going to roll out here. He's looking downfield. He's going for a home run, Rob. That's a tough decision right there to throw a home run on first down.
Logan Poppy right there at the
interception. That's a tough decision. Yeah, that's tough when they turn it over and you give it right back. Hate to see that. Well, it's almost as good as a punt. So Martinsville will take over 1st and 10 from their own 14. So I guess that's if we're trying to be positive rays of sunshine here. So the defense back out here, and Martinsville's going to run Shrake, which is pretty much what everybody in the building thought was going to happen.
They've been running with that guy all night, and
yeah, why not? It's been very successful.
I don't see them stopping anytime soon.
So again, looks like Javian Jones and Connor Bentley in there. You see MJ Campbell and Jalen Shanks as Martinsville goes downfield. Got a receiver and cannot make the catch. Incomplete. And there's a flag on the far side, the Martinsville side. And probably going to get a holding on the defender maybe, or pass interference of some kind on Decatur. So they'll get 15 yards and an automatic first down here.
And that's just not something you want to give up this late in the game with.
So 10-18 to go in the game. Decatur Central 24, Martinsville 17. So Pharrell Carter coming in, looks like to play corner there. As you know, he made a big pass breakup.
So we apologize here up in the press box for the score malfunction we got on the scoreboard right now. Working to get that fixed and get the score right for you folks. Again, thank you to everyone joining here tonight.
So Reynolds again in the shotgun. Looks like he's going to pass it to, or hand it off to Shrake, who falls forward a gain of about 2 or 3 there.
You can faintly hear our Decatur Central cheerleaders down there trying to get this home crowd hyped up and for another great defensive drive, which...
So Martinsville, I found that kind of interesting. Martinsville all night, they'll get set for a play, try and draw us offside, then we don't. They look to the sideline, and there's Shrake again, and there's a big old hole, but it was filled very quickly by Albert Aguirre and Braden LaFollette. So he will fall forward again. The man just falls forward. You don't see any, not a whole lot of tackles for loss, as there's a quick one, and there's that tackle for loss that I talked about. So that was a very nice job. They tried to do a hurry up, and it did not work.
We got 9 minutes and 10 seconds left
And
to play.
Martinsville will most assuredly go for it here. And they'll probably pass the ball, it looks like.
4th and 2, they're QB looking for something.
So Decatur Central gives Martinsville a free first down there.
Looks like Michael Campbell maybe there on the...
Yeah, that's tough. That just can't happen. I mean, he was clearly blitzing.
So it'll bring up a first down for the Martinsville Artesians.
So still, though, in their own territory, on their own 45. 8:45 and counting to go. And, oh, my goodness. I thought we were going to get the old Robert Mathis, Dwight Freeney strip sack there, and he just got the ball off before he was tackled.
Shout out to Braylon Morris there on the attention, trying to pick it up just in case that was a fumble.
Yeah, and that's a heads-up play.
That's always something you got to be alert on when it comes to something like that.
100%.
And that would have been big, getting the ball back.
Yeah, and I mean, it was, in my opinion, it was pretty clearly he was throwing the football, but boy, it was close. And here comes Shrake, and he is met in the hole by Steven Oyateo. And that did not work. And you know, it's crazy though. He got smoked in the hole, but he still got about a half yard on that. Braden Shrake, the workhorse of the Artesian football team.
He's got to do whatever he can to put his stats up his senior year of
Coming
high
up.
school. So.
Coming up on 8 minutes here as Reynolds is scrambling out of the pocket. He loses the football, and
it's recovered by Decatur
Albert
Central.
Aguirre, but there is a penalty flag. We're just exchanging turnovers.
Again, the game of mistakes is finally coming back here in the fourth quarter with about 7:58 left to play. Decatur Central gets the ball back.
Yeah, and I mean, my gosh, how well has this defense played tonight?
Our defense has been one of the most outstanding. This has been one of the most outstanding days I've seen for our defense in a long time. And as the game continues with about 8 minutes left to play in the football game, they will continue to do so and make sure we maintain that lead that we have. So
I'll be interested to talk to JV and Jones after the game and see how the other gentleman playing defensive line and him maybe only having to play offensive line has helped. And Pododo, another guy, just gets yards.
Brings it up for a gain of about maybe 5.
Well, and you heard in the background, Andy Hofer, our esteemed announcer, just said run the football, as well as Mike Ressler here, run the ball and run that clock out. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see here. We're going to see a steady diet of Albert Aguirre, Inpo Dodo.
Do what they can, run this clock out.
And Bo Polston. Yep. And Bo's going to hold it down, and he's running out and throws it away. Throws it onto the track into about lane 5.
You talk about that arm, man. It's whether it's going to receiver just out of bounds. It's going to go far.
Well, and, it's like we talk about he's still a sophomore, so you see decisions like he made on the last drive, but then you see decisions like that right there. That's a mature decision by a young man, and that's just smart football. Right now you got money in the bank. You're in the lead right now. You're moving the ball pretty well. Things are, you're in the driver's seat right now, so that's just a good play. Third here, he's going to go upfield. He's got a receiver in the seam. I don't think Inpo Dodo thought he was going to him, and I don't know if he was throwing to Dodo or if he's throwing to Pharrell Carter there.
Looks like Dodo was the one who tried to go up and make that play.
But Dodo looked like he wasn't ready. Like his body language was ill-prepared to receive a pass there. So that's going to bring up 4th and about 6. I mean, I would think you're going to punt here and, try and down this inside the 20 as best as you can, or as close to the goal line as you can.
Brandon Kent comes out for the Martinsville Artesians. He was subbed in for Mason Dotson, who was on defense there, guarding Casey Berry.
So Bo in the shotgun. I would assume he's going to punt here, but you never know. So we got a couple penalties here, so you're going to cause a delay game on the Hawks. So they will punt from a little further back. I would assume they will most assuredly punt now.
So Martinsville be getting the ball with about 7:10 left to play in the 4th. Both teams still got all 3 timeouts, so
Bo is in the shotgun. I'm pretty sure he'll punt here. He takes a couple steps back. That's exactly what's going to happen here. And here it comes. The left-footed punt. It's low, but it takes a Decatur Central bounce. And, wow, I don't understand what that young man was trying to do. Just take a knee, go down, let it go. That was a really awkward situation there with Ben Field and our gentleman Chris Richmond there. That was just really awkward. So Martinsville will have the ball exactly 7 minutes to go in the game. 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. So this would be another opportunity for our defense to have a good stand here. They've got a lot of field to work with in 7 minutes. So you can bet Martinsville's going to throw the football. So we're going to see these defensive backs be tested.
So here comes Reynolds in his offense ready. You can only think this would be, yep.
Yeah, and he tries to, and a good pass, and wow, oh my goodness. An almost catch.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't call
Hunter Stroud.
Almost surprised they didn't call that PI there. It looked like he got tackled a little bit right before the play. So
I don't know. That was pretty tight. He clearly got a step on our defensive backs. We've got to do a better job of keeping their receivers in front of us. That's a cardinal sin at cornerback or safety, is letting a defender or an offensive wide receiver get behind you. And, I mean, we are kind of in a prevent defense. We're back up off of the players. Great job by M.J. Campbell coming down the backside of the line and making a play. Albert Aguirre assists in the middle as both of those guys put a whooping on Shrake and lost a yard there. My goodness, you couldn't have played that any better by M.J. Campbell. That's beautiful to watch.
It's like I said earlier, that's one of the names you love to hear when it comes to defense.
I think here comes a throw. You've got Trips on the far side, one wide receiver near, probably looking for something in the middle of the field here. And he's going to sprint out, but he's got guys around. And not a bad call, just poor execution there by Reynolds. Throws it at the feet of Shrake. Now, he did have guys all over him. He might have got a couple yards there, but he was pretty dead in his tracks. But, man, well, actually, I'm looking at the replay. There was no one around him. He would have got several yards on that play. So that's going to bring up 4th and looks like about 9 for Martinsville. Looks like they're back in punt formation. And looks like we got Pharrell Carter back to receive punts here. Let's see if Pharrell can make something happen here. I'd like to see him do something good here. And he's going to get a chance. And he fields it cleanly. He's got 2 men to beat. Splits the defenders. He's got room, makes a move. Coming down the sideline, he goes back to midfield and is taken down at the 40. So nice job by Pharrell. Being secure with the football, actually making the catch before he took off. Man, just making guys miss. He's so fast and so elusive when he's in the open field.
Landon Porter off there with the tackle for the Martinsville Artesians. So Decatur Central getting the ball back with about 6 minutes left to play in this 4th.
You got to hope we just run the football. So was there a penalty? There's a penalty, and we're going to get some extra yards. My goodness, on Martinsville. Don't really know what that was, but we'll take it. So personal foul announces Andy Hofer. So we'll take 15 extra yards, and we're going to easily the best field position we've had all game. We're going to start 1st and 10 from the Martinsville 26-yard line. And again, I'd like to see you got Albert Aguirre there in the I formation, and there's a fumble with the snap, and I think Martinsville's got the ball back. We just, my goodness. Turnover fest. You see, looks like Garrett Smith is a little shaken up there. Maybe they landed on his ankle when the snap happened. And that's the first miscue on the snap to the quarterback all night as he goes under center. You got to think that's a comfortability issue, as we're, 90% of our snaps are in the shotgun. So 24-17, 5:51 to go. Decatur Central in the lead. And Martinsville has the ball once again. And once again, they go with Braden Shrake, the running back.
That's been their main guy all night.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, like I said, he's taken the bulk of the offense. I mean, he's got to at least have 50% of their offense tonight.
Dare we say maybe even 60.
Yeah, I mean, he's their go-to. Like we said earlier, I mean, at this point, you could run a little bit, but you're going to have to pass. I can't imagine them not throwing it on this down. As they've got a receiver here in the winged position, a receiver in the far side, the wing position. That's their tight end who has a touchdown this evening. He's going to block up the middle as they roll out, and they're going to throw upfield, but everybody seems to be covered.
And that's
golly.
Sure that's caught. That was Mason Dotson there on the catch.
Gee whiz. Yeah, and it looks like Casimir Hicks has come up limp there. He's limping on one leg. I don't know if maybe he got his ankle stepped on there on the play.
Looks like Dotson was a little shooken up after that one too. So.
Yep, looked like maybe he got stepped on. So we're just under 5 minutes at 4 minutes 57 seconds after a big first down play by Martinsville. Gain of about 30 there on that pass. And like we said, Reynolds, every now and then, he hits one where it's a heck of a play. And guys do a good job of getting open at the last second. As you saw, it looked like, there's a little separation right at the end between the Martinsville player and the Decatur player. And guy went up and made a good catch.
Absolutely. So we're going to take an injury timeout here with about 5 minutes left to play in this fourth quarter. Decatur Central leads 24-17.
Hopefully Casimir Hicks can walk that off and get back in here.
It's like you said a few weeks ago, you can be hurt, but don't be injured.
Yeah, it's and that's what it really looks like to me. He just trotting off there, just got to work out some pain. And if you've never been cleated, it hurts. Oh, man, it is not fun.
Happened to me last year, and it was not fun.
So 1st and 10 for Martinsville. They are now on the Decatur Central side. A little jet sweep to number 3, and he is not going anywhere.
Hunter Stroud looking for something out of nothing there.
Yep. Played that very well. got plenty of practice last week playing that against Whiteland. There is a flag. Not sure what that is. They are discussing it, the officials there, at the 37-yard line. It looks like it's on us.
So they're going to gain about, I'd hope to say probably only 5.
So he's calling personal foul face mask on Decatur Central. That is tough. To give him a free 15 yards after you make a tackle for loss.
Especially this close to the goal line.
Yeah. Well, and I tell you what, you got to keep your eyes on Josh Jones, the tight end, because I would assume they're going to use him down here close. So there's another handoff to the running back, and that is Braden Shrake, and he falls forward a gain of about 3 or 4 there.
Tell you what, that kid's been a monster all night, and
he's a Timex watch. He takes a ticking and licking and keeps on ticking. I mean, he's something else. He's just one of those kids that just is a bull. And here comes the fake jet sweep. He's going to throw up the middle. That tight end I spoke about, wide open. And luckily, we got enough pressure on Reynolds that he couldn't connect. I told you keep an eye on 87, Josh Jones, and that was it right there. That looked like a Notre Dame play when they had all the great tight ends come through, Mark Bavaro and Kyle Rudolph and all these tight ends, man. That was the play. I mean, they just missed on it. It was there.
Yeah.
So
like
dodged the bullet.
It's like you said, Josh Jones, he's 6 foot, 245 pounds.
I would think here comes Braden Shrake, and he's going to fall forward for a few.
I'll tell you what, though, another person they got to look out for who plays tight end for him is Bo Dilly, 6'1", 190. I mean,
yeah, they're definitely going to go for it. We need to get up to the line of scrimmage here.
So 4th and 2 to go for Martinsville Artesians. I'm assuming trying to make us jump here and give up that play.
I think they're going to run here. If they run a play, I think they're going to run here. They have 3 timeouts remaining. The clock is running. And there's the run up the middle, and he's going to fall forward. Yep, he's going to have it.
So that'll bring up a 1st and goal from about, from the 10-yard line. So.
And the clock running down, 3:13, 3:12, 3:11. So now they've got 4 downs to score here. There's a little scissors play, and Shrake is going to get another 3 or 4, man. This kid just does not go away.
He's putting up those stats, and I mean.
Yeah, I mean, he's really not flashy at all. He's just a battering ram. He'll get you 3 or 4. Yeah, get you 3 or 4, which that's all you need. You get 4, you're going to get a 1st down every 3 plays. And here comes the throw, and the defender falls down, and Reynolds overthrows the receiver. And that was Elijah Trammell on the defense. Looks like he fell down and cramped up. And thank goodness Reynolds has misfired on the last 2 throws in the end zone because his players were open.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Martinsville Artesians.
So 2 minutes, 31 seconds to go here.
Ball on the 6-yard line.
It's 3rd down and goal from the 6, correct? And, they're wanting to restart the time clock here, the play clock.
And Elijah Trammell's still down out there, obviously.
Yeah. So this will be an injury timeout, so neither team will lose a timeout here.
Obviously, you don't like to see one of your guys go down like that.
And I will tell you 100% this is 4-down territory. So if they do not score on this, there's no doubt it's a foregone conclusion they're going to go for it on 4th down. So you're going to have to make 2 stops here. Wouldn't be surprised to see Javian Jones go in here on the defensive line, which he is. Looks like it's Javian and Connor Bentley. Would not be surprised to see an Alex Serber sighting.
You got Steven Oteo and Albert Aguirre out there as well.
Now the question here is, are we going to see a play action? And nope, we're going to see, and thank goodness
he stopped.
We did not get pinched.
That's spotted about maybe the 1 or the 2 yard line here, so they're going to go for it, hopefully.
Yeah, and that we almost did. Thank goodness Albert is an athlete extraordinaire, because he read inside and luckily was able to get back outside and make the tackle before the touchdown. So 2:29 to go, 4th and goal, the biggest play of the game right now. You're probably going to see a handoff to Braden Shrake, and that's exactly what it is. I don't know if he got it. It looks like he may be there. He is.
I think he fell forward.
He is.
So
yep, so he did get the ball across the goal line.
That'll bring the score up to 23,
Goodness.
I believe.
So with the extra point, they will tie us, and that'll give us about 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes.
But the good thing is we still have all 3 timeouts, but they do too as well, so we'll see how that comes into play for both teams here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'd say we do have a full complement of timeouts. That's huge.
It looks like they may be going for 2. So.
All righty, so Martinsville going for 2 here, and Decatur Central wants to call a timeout. And that's a pretty good decision there by Kyle Enright. Yeah, once this happens, whether they score or don't score, Decatur Central will be kicked off too. And if they don't score, we can probably just take a knee and call it a day.
Which obviously you'd love to walk away with a win here tonight. And
right.
Put yourself
well, and
up.
you know, the other thing too is I can 100%, or I shouldn't say that, but I can pretty much guarantee you they're going to do an onside kick. So we've got to secure that. If you get the ball, just go down right where you got it. If you field that thing, try and field it cleanly and get to the ground, whether we're tied or not.
I wouldn't be surprised to see if Coach Kyle Enright and Bo maybe draw something up though and get you down the field, maybe close enough to where Ashton Vogel can put the game away.
Well, and that's the ace you have up your sleeve here, is you've got a kicker that's probably pretty good from about 50 in. So Martinsville going out wide here.
Notice Josh Jones is in, so
and they take the lead. I felt like they made some movements and we didn't adjust to them. That was odd. Yeah, guys didn't adjust very well there. And yeah.
So that'll bring the score to 25-24. Martinsville Artesians lead by 1 with about 2:25 left to play in the 4th. So as you said, I would not be surprised if an onside kick is gone for here.
Well, now that they have the lead, though, you probably won't see that. So if we were tied or down, if they were down, you'd probably see it. But now they're going to pin us back as far as they can. So they'll kick it all the way in the, as far as they can. They don't want a touchback either.
Not at all. They want to pin us inside that 10, hopefully.
Yep. And I'll be honest, tip of the cap to them. That 2-point conversion was a good play call. They had it set up just right, and they executed it well. So now it is Martinsville 25, Decatur Central 24. We have 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go in the game. We are about to see what kind of football team we have in these Decatur Central Hawks. Casimir Hicks I think actually Casimir is out since he had his little ankle injury there. So I don't think he is back. I can't really tell who that is on the far side.
That's Casey Berry.
All right, so Casey's going to pick it up here. And Gets a block. He's around the end here. He's probably going to go out there about the 37-yard
line there. So,
and that's not a bad return. That's pretty good.
Got it better than what we would have if it was just a touchback. So you love to see that.
Yep. And nice blocking upfield.
They're going to spot that down at the 38. So it's going to bring up a 1st and 10 with 2:17 to go from the 38-yard line.
So, this is what you practice week to week to week is a 2-minute drill. So this gets practiced every single week. I think the word that everybody's looking for is execute. Can we execute here?
So Bo drops back looking for a pass, and was looking for
I feel like the defender was all over his Casey Berry's back and not a flag at all. So it's going to be tough sledding. They're going to have to make plays contested.
Obviously, the incompletion stops the clock with about 2:13 left to play. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line. So,
and I mean, obviously, you're going to see this dink and dunk pass game here. And Bo Polston steps back. They're trying to bring everybody they can, and there's another one. It goes off the receiver's hands, through the defender's hands, and falls to the ground.
So this brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Decatur Central Hawks at the 38-yard line.
That pass was intended for Inpo Dodo. So 3rd down here. Clearly 4-down territory no matter what. So you got 2 more plays to get 10 yards here and get another shot. And Bo hands it off to Albert Aguirre, and he is buried.
So what are we thinking here?
You got to throw, and there's going to be a personal foul penalty, and I'm almost certain it's on Decatur Central for responding to this celebration by Martinsville.
Pushing.
I'm sure something inappropriate was said, is what it looks like. So they are discussing it. They're talking about it, and we'll see what happens here.
Obviously, you don't want to see that.
And obviously, that's just a guess. But just based on the reactions of the officials and reactions of the players, it looks like somebody might have said something inappropriate after the play.
I still believe that even if this is a pushback for Decatur Central, they would do everything in their power to make sure that 1st down is completed and move the chains for themselves and hopefully get Ashton Vogel out here to kick something.
This is a big discussion here. I mean, that's a huge call. Huge call here, so we're going to get personal foul on Decatur Central. We're going to get another one. Is it going to be on Martinsville? It is. Offsetting penalties. So that works.
That'll keep it at a 3rd and 10.
And truth be told, that's probably the correct call.
Absolutely. Obviously, you don't want the players to respond, but you also don't want your players to start that.
And 4th and 10 sounds a whole lot better than 4th and 25.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So here we go. This is the ball game. If we get a 1st down, our chance continues. Bo Polston back over the middle. Completed to Pharrell Carter.
And that is a 1st down.
Boy, that is the definition of clutch, friends. And Bo set his back foot and fired.
You heard me say it. We get that 1st down, no matter who it is, it'll keep us in this game. And
so here we go, rapid fire, minute 45 and counting. Bo's going to sprint out to us. Looking upfield. Throws to Casey Berry. High tackle on the helmet. No penalty. And the coaches are on the officials on the corner, but that official is not going to give them anything. Wow. That's a pretty high tackle. So still running. A minute 34 here. It stops for the catch. And there's a short one out to Casey. He's going to run up the side, just get what he can, get out of bounds. The clock will stop.
idea, not having to waste any timeouts either. So that's another first down for the Decatur Central Hawks.
Minute 28. Hawks are moving. And that
34-yard line.
Yeah, that throw and catch to Farrell has lit a little fire here. So 1:28 to go. Game on the line for the Hawks. They're running the 2-minute drill very well now that they've gotten that initial first down.
And it's like you said, those basically.
And Bo's going to take off. He's got space in the middle of the field. He'll go down at about the 25. And I'm not sure if they're going to mark him for a first down, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be close there. So minute 13 still running.
And it's like
and it looks like Martinsville's going to call a timeout, so the clock will stop at a minute 9. 2nd and 1 for your Hawks. They trail by 1. They are very, very close to Ashton Vogel's range already. You would like to get them a little closer. I'll be honest, you really want to take it out of Ashton's hands, score a touchdown, and be done with it.
100%. And obviously, as you're aware, Bo Polston wants this game just as much as anybody else.
Oh, for sure, especially after how last week ended. My heart goes out to Bryson Bonnewitt, the way that last week happened for him, and guts on that kid for not folding over. And yeah, I mean, he scored a touchdown late in that game to make it respectable, and he's playing his guts out tonight. He's had some big plays. So we are 25 yards away from the end zone. A minute 9 to go. 2nd down, 1 yard. You've got Pharrell Carter and Chris Richmond on the far end. You've got Casey Berry near us. Inpo Dodo in the backfield, which means he's probably going to get it, which he does. Jukes a couple players, and nice tackle by that young man, number 49, Keen McCowan. Makes a nice play, but however, still a Hawks first down. The clock will stop. Minute 3. And now we are only 24 yards away, 23 yards away. And Bo Polston gets a snap, throws it out to Pharrell Carter at the sideline, makes a great catch. I mean, that's just textbook. Textbook sideline offense.
So obviously the score here would force them to have to score another one just to think about taking the lead. But
I'll be honest, we score here. I mean, it's all over but the crying. I mean, it's pretty much, in the words of my high school track coach, Dennis McNulty, it's Katie bar the door if you score a touchdown here.
You've seen how this defense has been playing tonight. So
here we go. Bo, look in the middle. Excellent job by Inpo Dodo to sit in the zone and take what they're given. However, we're going to have to burn a timeout here. 37.6. Again, we talked about how important it is to have all of our timeouts here. Yeah, it looks like we have 2 left and 37.6. I think they're going to put some time back on the clock here. 39.5 is what it is now. We are roughly 15 yards away from pay dirt here. 25-24, Martinsville lead. They made an amazing drive there in the fourth quarter, went for 2, were very successful. Great play call, great execution on that play. However, the Hawks are knocking on the door here. 39.5.
obviously a first down here puts us closer to that end zone, and that's definitely what we want right now.
And Doug Opel, you are correct. We are actually down with 1 timeout, which is still okay with 39.5 seconds. Not sure if you're going to have to use it or not here. So big plays right now. And Bo Polston fakes a handoff. He keeps it, and he is buried. I think that next timeout's coming. So Ben Field buries him And it'll bring up 4th and 1 here.
And it looks like that.
I don't know why we're not taking a timeout here. Or it looks like we're trotting the kicker on. We'll call a timeout before the clock runs out here. So Kyle Enright is talking to the official. He's going to let the clock run down, call a timeout, and we are going to have an Ashton Vogel field goal try. So from the 15, that is a 32-yard field goal attempt. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
15 plus 10 plus 7, 32. I'm not friends with math per se.
I'm not either.
So I was surprised I got that correct. Sorry about that, all you math majors. I appreciate you, though. I appreciate you guys dearly for helping the rest of us that are deficient.
So 3 seconds on the clock, and
All righty.
Ashton Vogel out here to put the game away.
And I'll be honest, I'm not a head football coach, so let's rush another play. Let's rush another play. And Coach Enright very calmly let the clock run down. And again, we're close to that right hash, which lines up with Ashton's leg. So, I mean, this is the best case scenario. And Martinsville's going to call one of their 2 remaining timeouts. Dustin Mix, you're spot on. I definitely am not at a loss for words ever, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Depends on how you look at it. Appreciate you being with us all night, bud. Really enjoyed your comments. So 3 seconds to go. Martinsville is going to make us think about it here. Icing the kicker, if you will.
And that's something big that's something big you talk about, whether it's in the pros or in college or high school, obviously. Icing the kicker is something that, obviously wants them to think about. But for Coach Enright here, I think he just takes that kick and moves on with it.
Well, so Ashton Vogel sets up. Bryson Bonawit, the holder. And the kick is no good. So Decatur Central falls. But there is a penalty. I think we're going to get a roughing the kicker penalty here as Martinsville throttled the holder and the kicker.
And that's just not something you want your special teams to do, especially with the game on the line like that.
So let's see. They're still talking about it. So let's see what officially gets announced here. So he may get another chance. All right, so the head official is going to make a call. So if this is roughing the kicker, we will get some yards closer and we'll get another shot. I got to be honest with you guys. I don't know what the signal the official will make for roughing the kicker. I'm not really sure what that call looks like. So it looks like he's going to do a personal foul. So personal foul.
I think.
He just kicked. So it's roughing the kicker. So we'll gain some yards and we will tee it up again.
So this is for the game. Ashton Vogel here getting his second chance at it, plus some yardage added on. So roughing the kicker play. Obviously, you don't want to see your team do that with the game on the line, but.
Well, and that was pretty bang play. I felt they were really in there pretty quick, and in typical human being fashion, I watched the football and not the kicker.
Right.
So, my goodness, what a riveting ball game this is to watch. The suspense is just killing me.
This is what feels like a cliffhanger to a book, if you will.
Yeah, it just whoever the film tomorrow.
Kick is
and
up.
Blocked again. And Bryson Bonawit picks it up, and he is tackled, and that's your football game.
All righty, folks. Thank you all for
My goodness.
Obviously not something you love to see, Decatur falling 2 weeks in a row, but
yeah, and I mean that's tough. And Coach Enright is incensed about something. He's out there talking to the head official, trying to get a response here. So I'm not sure what's going on. They're trying to explain to him
they're holding on.
Why they did or didn't make a call. And obviously Coach Enright doesn't like the explanation, but it is what it is. And that's a tough way to lose, bud. Just a tough way to lose, and I'm sure everybody's ill out there about it.
So that'll end the ball game, folks. We'd like to thank you all for joining us here tonight, and whether you were here in attendance or over Facebook or YouTube. And again, that's definitely not what you want to see, losing 2 weeks in a row, but we will be back here in 2 weeks for the homecoming game against Plainfield. And obviously some of you hopefully can go out next week and watch Decatur Central. So thank you all again for joining us here tonight. We hope you all have a great and wonderful night. Thank you, everyone.
Good night, folks.